welcome to another out-of-spec motoring video. We join you from inside a parking garage. Forgive the audio for the first little bit of this video while it's a little bit echoey. This is the Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo. This is the Volkswagen ID.3. One of those two is the car from the previous road trip video, the Mach-E. I honestly don't know which one we took. And of course, there's another Cross Turismo behind us. We're over at our friends at Inside EVs Germany, where they've kindly let us use their garage to stuff our cars. You can see Alyssa is here in Germany. Hey, Alyssa. And Tijmen is here too. We are gonna go from here in Munich to the Nurburgring. Tomorrow we have plans to shred both of these cars and others around the ring, but it's about a 8-hour drive, something like this. So it's gonna be a long one. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. We have dinner plans in Stuttgart to go to. Tijmen's gonna take the Cross Turismo, the Porsche with all of our luggage in it. That's why we got the wagon Porsche. This thing's loaded with all of our camera gear, clothing, etc. Alyssa and I are gonna hop in the Volkswagen ID.3 Pro. This is the 62 kilowatt hour gross, 58 usable, but with the newest software update that allows 130 kilowatt charging. We're gonna take this on a road trip, and I'm so excited because this is one of the best cars on sale. I genuinely believe it. So many people give this car a bad rap, but I think they're just not taking the time to understand it, or at least my perspective is a little different. So let's hop in the cars, get on the road, and head to Stuttgart for dinner. Tijmen, do you know what the state of charge is in the Cross Turismo?
It is at 40 something.
Yeah, pretty low, 40 something percent. Yep. Adjusting the dials over. 45%. So we should probably stop in Friedberg or Augsburg, somewhere around there, and that's where we'll stop and charge. Alyssa, would you mind checking the state of charge in the ID.3? I'll unlock it for you. Here's the nice, lovely key. Same key we get in the US for ID.4. This one just doesn't have the alarm button. All right, let's take a look here. Tight parking garage, of course. It won't say percent, it'll just show miles. Yeah, so about half charge. So I think they both need to start with the charge, but they're both cold. We haven't driven them today. It's chilly and rainy outside. So let's get some miles under our belt. About 45 minutes away, there's an IONITY charging station that we've been using for most of our charging tests, etc. So we'll get some heat in the battery packs to get some fast charging, and then we'll be off to Stuttgart with one charging stop. At least that's the idea. Tijmen's searching for the IONITY charging station in Augsburg. Let's skip the Friedberg one, because remember we saw that one right off the highway the other day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that one so we don't even have to pull off the highway. The nice thing with the Porsche is if it's routing to a charger with more than 175 kilowatt charging power, or I should say, if the car thinks it's 175 or higher, it will actually precondition the battery pack up to close to 90 degrees. This one's warm already. I guess we have been driving it a little bit. So no problem here to get 270 kilowatt charging when we plug in. We're gonna program in the charger in the ID.3. I'm not actually sure if this does on route preconditioning. This might come with software, but this car does have new, seemingly unreleased at this time software. Everyone was saying we have all the new stuff in this car that no one else has. So let's get the same station plugged in, and we'll drive the little ID.3 over there. I really love this car. This one, again, mid-size battery pack, rear-wheel drive with the power increase, so 150 kilowatt output in this car. Same power output as we get as ID.4 in the US, but way less heavy, really much lighter and quite snappy as well. The Taycan, of course, does have a higher top speed, so I imagine Tijmen will be pulling away from us in the de-restricted sections. Inside here, we have these really nice sort of half cloth, half leather seats with massage, beautiful interior. Alyssa, are you excited to actually get out of the city and see some of the countryside?
Yes.
Nice. It's actually Alyssa's birthday today.
It is.
So happy birthday. We're going on a road trip.
Yes.
We are just about to head out now. Let's reset our trip consumption here. Bump, bump, bump. Reset. Long term. Yeah, we'll reset all this too. This particular car has 6,000 kilometers on it, 6,700. It's about to have a whole lot more going up to the northwest of the country. Taycan's getting its trip computer reset as well. We'll try and drive together. Let's see what driving mode we're in actually. We're in comfort. the way it should be. This is a comfortable car. Shifting into drive and then one more forwards into B mode. This will allow sort of off throttle regen. So let's go out of here. Great turning radius, of course, just like ID.4. And you can see the rear steer in the Taycan working there. That is pretty neat. These parking garages are just crazy tight. So what we'll do is we'll get out of the city center, we'll head up into the highway, and we will road trip it and try and heat up these battery packs for a good charging session at the IONITY station. We're heading out of Munich for really the first time since we've arrived in Germany. I've been here for about 12 days now, and we've just been filming cars like crazy. We've shot over 50 videos in 12 days. Those will roll out over time on the Out of Spec Reviews YouTube channel, our sister channel here. So stay tuned to that. You'll also see plenty of videos on, I don't know, Inside EVs, other places as well. Doesn't really matter. We're focusing on this video. And well, when I first wanted to come to Germany, we thought, okay, what cars should we ask for? What should we try and align? And this ID.3 was really the first one that came to mind. It's sort of forbidden fruit, if you will. This is a car that I've been so interested in driving, so interested in getting, because we don't get it in the US. And after spending time with this car, driving it, well, I really wanted to take it on a trip. So here we go. We're going all around Germany in the ID.3 pretty much. Really looking forward to this. Another car I really wanted for some Nurburgring stuff, for some high-speed driving on the de-restricted sections of the Autobahn. Well, of course, the Taycan Cross Turismo Turbo. That one is spec'd so wonderfully with carbon ceramic brakes, performance tires, the whole bit. That thing will do 260 kilometers per hour, about 160 miles per hour, all day long cruising down the Autobahns. No sign of overheating. Really impressive car at high speed, truly is. So we kind of have the dichotomy of the Volkswagen Group, the Volkswagen Group electric vehicles here. We have the fastest one, well, it's not the Turbo S, and the slowest one, well, it's not a base Pro, but you get the idea. The Max one and the baby one on a road trip together, opposite ends of the Volkswagen Group electrification arm. So really going to enjoy this trip. Let's get it up and see how we do. And a little smart car on the right and the Taycan's on the left. I'm wide open throttle in the ID.3. This thing still is pretty quick. We're in comfort mode. This car has the full adjustable adaptive dampers and everything, so you can still tune it. Look at that, drifting the ID.3. Love it. I wish there was a way you could fully turn off traction control though, because it just grabs the brakes as soon as we get any hint of rotation. So let's just hope Tijmen is a sane person in the Cross Turismo. If you take a look about in front of us, you'll see him just trying to get to the left lane, but there's a lot of traffic. So I think what we'll do is kick on adaptive cruise control. Right here on the steering wheel, you'll see we have this little button here for travel assist. Now travel assist is enabled. We can pull the following distance to the closest, and now the car will actively lane center and guide us down the middle of the road in this traffic. Awesome. Just about to cross into a de-restricted section of the road. So take a look, here's the sign with the slash through it. There we go. Cruise control off, foot to the floor. This is the best part of Germany. We're at 160 kilometers per hour, maximum speed 164. This will do 166. But look, there's like this little Toyota thing here on the right just cruising with us. Let's see if Tijmen wants to go for a flyby in the Taycan. Take a look out the left for him. Let's see how he does. Yep, absolutely shredding. We'll let him go ahead. And I'm floored, and look at that thing just pull away. Oh my God, it's so fast. just an insane Autobahn mile buncher, that thing. And this, we really just need to keep moving over to let these Audi wagons go on by. Here comes one. We're pegged again at full speed, and off they go. What a wild place.
I also wish we got the ID.3. That thing looks so good moving on the road.
Over 100 miles an hour with this Model Y in front of us. You can see out the mirror, Tijmen is behind us in the Taycan, and we are in an unrestricted section of Autobahn. So let me explain how this works. Essentially what unrestricted means is there's no mandatory speed limit. There's a recommended speed of 130 kilometers per hour, which means, you know, that's about what most people travel. But if you want to go crazy and go 300 kilometers an hour, you know, about 200 miles an hour, nothing's stopping you from doing 180 plus miles an hour. You just rock and roll as much as you want. There are rules, of course. You don't want to like tailgate people or pass on the right. Generally, German driving discipline is awesome. People know, you know, you want to get past them from behind, they move out of the way, and then you can hammer down onwards. So this Model Y in front of us is definitely trying to go. You can see here, he's pushing all the traffic out of the way, doing a little bit of tailgating for us. You can see hard accelerations. I'm wide open throttle, and he's pulling away. I'm to the floor. We've just hit our top speed, and I think I'll let Tijmen go by, go for a little pass here in the Taycan, let him go have some fun. There he goes, and we're moving back over. What an amazing place to drive a car.
We're now on a de-restricted part, but still in traffic. My battery arrival percent is now 16 instead of 10. Just been so busy today. I don't know if it's because of the rain or something else, but hopefully we'll get a open section of full de-restricted to where I can just open it up, bring it down to hopefully 2%, so that we can also get the fastest charging.
There goes Tijmen in the Model Y, shredding up ahead. Let's see, Tijmen's definitely going after him. Model Y is wide open. Gotta love that. That is just the coolest. Well, can't move over here, so. We're pegged at the limiter. There goes an Audi wagon. And coming up from behind is a 911 turbo cab, absolutely moving. Oh, the best. Oh, and here's the Mercedes EQS. Oh, and the guy just downshifted right next to the EQS. There's a Volt. We're barely passing the Volt. I guess it's called an Opel Ampera here. They have like some gold foil on it of some kind. But here we go at max speed in the ID.3, EQS in front of us. The best part about being in Germany are all the test cars, the early stuff from the German automakers you see at charging stations, on the highway, in the city. Just amazing. The EQS is doing well over 100 miles an hour, cruising along here. And then, of course, everyone's just passing the cop in the right lane because there's no speed limit. We're about to do 100 plus miles an hour by a police officer, and hopefully we won't be pulled over for it. Here we go, by the Augsburg police. Pretty incredible. The EQS is just cruising at like 110 miles an hour. Gotta love it. What a wild place. What a wild place. And we have pretty much reached our destination. Tijmen has entered the right lane. It shows we're just about 1 kilometer from our full exit. The augmented reality heads-up display here in the ID.3 is flashing big arrows to show me where I need to go. It's a little gimmicky, but it actually works pretty well, I have to say. We really ran the battery down. We were just driving maxed out. So let's take a look at our stats with a lot of wide open throttle. Let's see, where would I go for this? Status data, boom. Yeah, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. That's actually really good. We were in a lot of traffic, but man, we spent a lot of time pegged at the max speed doing some Autobahn top speed runs. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm curious as to what the Porsche did in terms of consumption. That car is still in watt hour per kilometer, so we have to do double translations, but we kind of have a good idea of how to do that on the fly now. Just exiting off here, we have, let's see, 20% state of charge, plenty. And we'll charge up pretty deep into the pack because we need to get both cars charged. So accelerating up and squeezing in, following Tijmen. Although I don't think this is correct. We should be going to the left there. Oh no, here we are missing exits by following Tijmen. Normally it's me. Can we drift it again? Yes, but traction control just kicks in. Let's try it one more time. You could just hear grabbing the brakes. One more time. Yeah, it wants to slide. It wants to drift. It just doesn't want to let the back end out. So now Tijmen's turning right here. I don't think this is correct. Oh no, what a disaster. We're all mixed up in terms of where we need to go. Yeah, we need to get back on the highway. Oh no, maybe we can just loop it all around. Let's try it. Let's see. Really testing the handling characteristics of ID.3. Throwing it into a corner, big throttle. It wants to slide. Come on, slide. Having a good time, of course. Here we are pulling into the Augsburg service station. Tijmen slamming on the brakes. Oh, it looks like we have some cars here at the IONITY stations. I've noticed this. Sometimes we pull up and there's just like everyone there. XC40 P8 recharger here. ID.4 with the big wheels that we don't get in the US. So let's see how we're all going to get situated and plugged in. And here goes. It's just charging station madness. Tijmen's going to take this one and we'll take this one. Then we'll have a maxed out charging station. Into reverse, backing in. Everyone's car has a charge port in a different spot. That makes it really difficult to design charging stations properly. But let's hope no one else comes, because then we'll have a line here forming at the Augsburg IONITY station. Time to get these activated.
We have made it to the charger, and I'm actually at 18%. There was not any more breaks in traffic besides once, and I got it down to 14%, and then it just went right back into traffic and back up to 18%. I did miss a turn, so even with that, these off ramps are somewhat confusing. But let's get charged up and then head farther into Stuttgart.
Time to get the ID.3 charging. A little scan of our plug surfing card, and we'll get it plugged in just like this. Boom, that's all you have to do. Good to go. It's communicating. Over here, we'll get Tijmen's Cross Turismo charging. And you have the Porsche card? Looks like they're filming a little video with the XC40 here. Nice. Maybe we should say hey, maybe fellow YouTubers. And the charging DC ports on this side of the Taycan. You have to pee?
Yes.
Man, I like these wheels on the ID.4. That's pretty sweet. Swipe of the charging port.
Okay, this one doesn't work.
Oh, okay, this one's dead? Cool. So funny, we actually ran into other YouTubers here. They know of us, and they make great car content, comparisons, things like this. So they've just finished charging. We're going to get the Taycan plugged in on a different unit that works. Apparently this third one is down and not working. And we actually were at another IONITY station yesterday that was not working. So let's get this Taycan lined up, plugged in here. It does have a long nose. We do want to be careful of this. And then we'll get the other guys' contact info. Perhaps maybe we'll even schedule a little collab. They're shooting ID.4 versus XC40 recharge. A little bit of an odd comparison, but they said it's actually closer than you would expect. So now I have the Porsche charging card. So many different cards for so many different vehicles. So we'll get this one charging. Let's see here. This is the Porsche one. Yes, tap. Now we'll plug it in. Let me get the charge port open. This is someone here with an e-tron Sportback waiting to charge. Opening all this. ID.3 is charging. We can check the charging speeds here in a second. Let me get this plugged in. While the Porsche is connecting, let's take a look at the ID.3 charging speeds. These are right in the sun. 100 kilowatts at 31%. Still a little bit of a cold battery pack, but that's not bad at all. The Porsche, of course, is going to charge way faster than the ID.3. It has a little bit bigger of a battery pack, but just being 800 volt architecture means it's okay that we plug this one in second. It's probably going to be leaving with even a higher state of charge. It just clicked the contactors. Everything's going here. Sorry for the glare. I think this means please wait. And let's let this thing go here in a second. We'll let it charge up. And here's the Porsche now. It's down to 18% state of charge. And yeah, just big charging speeds. Gotta love this. Look at this. Crazy. 230 kilowatts, 240. and just pegged at 240 kilowatts. You really got to love that. Let's take a look at Tijmen's efficiency on the way over here. This thing is pretty efficient, but Tijmen usually drives in crazy Sport Plus mode, of course. So let's take a look. Key not detected, no problem. Well, it's in my pocket somewhere. Oh no, gotta find it. Hold on. 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour. Oh, so it is miles per kilowatt hour, and it is way less efficient. Although I think, yeah, that's probably the same trip. I'm gonna put the Taycan into Sport Plus. This is gonna max out the cooling. I'm gonna turn the cabin cooling off, and this way it can charge at high speeds for longer, because it's gonna be maxing out the entire battery thermal management system to keep itself cool. If I go to information, you can see it's at 90F, and the fans just kicked on full blast. Well, it was really fun to run into the guys from the Jonas YouTube channel. They just film electric car reviews. We are gonna try and work out a collaboration if we come back to Munich after this trip. Perhaps we'll do a little video together, but seems like they know their stuff. They were, you know, pretty knowledgeable, I thought. So definitely check out their YouTube channel. A link will be in the description. I personally haven't seen any of their videos yet, but I will be checking them out tonight for sure. Anyway, the Jonas YouTube channel, great to run into those guys. Just randomly, two YouTubers filming a split car review at the same time at one IONITY station can really fill it up quick. While the cars are charging, we're walking over to the Mickey D's. Amazing how many McDonald's there are in Germany. I feel like I've eaten so much of it. I feel nasty because every charging station seems to have a McDonald's and almost nothing else. So I guess that's what we're going to be doing again today. Perhaps we can find some more traditional food at some point. We did have a nice dinner last night at a traditional German restaurant in Augsburg, which was pretty cool. Let's run in here and get some food. We order at these types of machines. This way we don't have to speak German to anyone. Also, Volkswagen mask. We're not paid by them. Although our audience thinks we're paid by Volkswagen somehow. Well, we were here for about 43 minutes now, and it looks like all the cars are fully charged. This is at 98%. This is in the 90s as well. So we're gonna hit the road. It took us a little while to get some food. We were chatting with some people, and well, there was no one waiting. So we left the cars, and there goes the boo-boo bus. Love their sirens. Tijmen, you're back to the Porsche, I assume?
Oh yeah, brother.
Keep it safe. Remember, ceramics don't like to work when it's when they're cold and wet.
Yeah, just a lot of full throttle and then heavy brake.
Did you notice though the first brake when they were wet didn't really do anything?
No, I wasn't going that fast. So
oh, okay.
With the regen, it just
it does regen a lot. Does regen a lot. Absolutely. Well, my ID.3 doesn't have the best braking system from top speed. All right, see ya. I guess Tijmen's still putting in his destinations, and are we good? See ya. And let's rock and roll. That guy's nice. He's done 60,000 kilometers in his Nero electric. He was thinking about getting an e-tron or an EV6. My recommendation to him was, if you don't need a luxury vehicle, we just drove EV6 this morning, that's the car to have. That thing was awesome. Or Ioniq 5, I guess either would be just fine. Probably going out the wrong way here. If you look ahead, you can see probably not doing this correctly, but we're gonna do it either way. Looks like the roadway has opened up a little bit as well. If you take a look ahead here, you'll see us pulling out. There's the McDonald's where we had lunch off to the right. There you go. And now we're just squeezing through all the Euro trucks to get back out to the highway. I'm having a little picnic over here. That looks awesome. Here we go, merging out onto the on-ramp. Let's do this. So we are gonna put ourselves into sport mode. We already are. Let a couple cars go by. Merging to the left. I don't know if this is de-restricted. I think it's 120 kilometers per hour through here. But we're charged up. We have 317 kilometers of predicted range. Let's take a look at what this is percentage. 95% state of charge. Really charged up a lot. Again, this is not how you'll typically be road tripping this car. With the ID.3 and this charging curve, we have the brand new software that does 130 kilowatts peak on the 58 kilowatt hour usable pack. It's really impressive. Travel assist on, locking us in. This car will charge at a peak of, again, 130 kilowatts, but only from about 0 to 30%, 0 to 25%. So in this car, you really want to plug in dead and charge just enough to get to the next charger. So that's the best plan here. It's how we'll probably be road tripping it as we continue. But of course, we had to stop, get some lunch. We were talking to people, just immersing ourselves in the German roadside culture a little bit. Motoring along at top speed, 166 kilometers per hour indicated, and Tijmen is gone, long gone, kilometers away from us. That Taycan has another 100 kilometer per hour top speed. I mean, a big difference here in terms of speed. So yeah, he'll make it to dinner, finish dinner, have dessert as we arrive with no battery left. Actually, this is doing pretty well for efficiency considering driving over 100 miles an hour constant. Really not bad.
I think I'm going just fast enough when I get the open stretches of the de-restricted area, and for the right amount of time to when I brake, I'm actually getting so much energy back. It seems like that I'm increasing charge, because now my destination percentage is saying that I'm going to get there with 47%, and we left with 40%. The GR Yaris. Yeah! My first time seeing one, those things look so cool. .5 kilowatts, baby. Maxing it out.
Our Taycan's charging at 22, so this is helping. We're charging on a little bit of clean energy here in this town, but not much. I'm glad they kept this thing running. I'm glad it still makes electricity. How cool. We just finished up a nice dinner and then climbed this hill here to this castle up here, which is amazing. We're in the middle of some vineyards. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we will be heading off to the Nurburgring, where I still have yet to book our hotel for the night, but let's hope we can find one with availability and also charging, as there's no DC fast chargers at the ring except for Tesla superchargers. So we're gonna have to figure that out. We are here in the heart of downtown Esslingen here, and these are all of our friends from Germany. And yeah, amazing little place here. You can see they have palm trees over this way. I don't know why, but it's really funny. So we're gonna get a picture in front of these palm trees. The cars are actually directly underneath us. We're standing over the parking garage, and then we will be heading off to charge them up and off into the woods. Well, we just did a couple launches in the Taycan Turbo. What do you guys think?
Really amazing. Really amazing.
It's pretty stupid fast, isn't it? So, Tijmen, you're gonna be driving the ID.3. I think we're gonna try and choose the last charging station before we head off to the Nurburgring. So big, deep charges. I think we won't get there till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
So a long drive ahead. The Taycan's looking good, but definitely is gonna need a charge after, of course, doing some launches and driving quickly on the Autobahn. So we'll figure out our charging plan as we hit the road, but for now, we're gonna head towards the Nürburgring. This is what they consider a driveway exit here in Germany. Holy smokes. We're pointing right up at the sky. I have the Taycan in full lift so we don't bottom out, and it doesn't. It actually has really good ground clearance. One of the benefits of the Cross Turismo, of course, is it's got a little bit more off-road cred. Now that we've covered this, I can go chassis height back to medium here. And a dude ripping a Sprinter, nice, that's what I like to see. And here we are just driving through these little cobblestone streets, about to head out back home. I shouldn't say home. I don't know what I'm thinking. We're heading back to the Nürburgring. First time this trip, but certainly not the first time for me or Alyssa. But I think it's Tijmen's first time at the ring, so hopefully he will enjoy it. We're gonna meet up with our friend Misha tomorrow. He's a very, I would say maybe if Sabine was the queen of the Nürburgring, Misha's the king of the Nürburgring, I don't know. But Misha makes some amazing YouTube videos all centered around the Nürburgring. He lives there, he drives all the crazy cars. He did a lot of testing with Rimats. And so, yeah, really cool dude. We'll try and do some laps with him, maybe even in the Taycan tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe he's got some fun cars lying around. But for now, we're just cruising out on these little cobblestone streets out of Esslingen, I think is what you say. A lot of Porsche employees work in, I shouldn't say work, but live in this town and work in Zuffenhausen in Stuttgart. And so you see a lot of Porsche company cars kind of parked around everywhere. It's pretty neat to see all the Taycans around here. We're gonna get moving on the road. We haven't checked for charging stations, but both cars are just above 50% state of charge. Wouldn't you say, Tijmen?
This might be a little bit under.
Little under 50%. This one's at 53%. So yeah, we've just booked our hotel, Motorsport Hotel at the Nürburgring. So let's put this thing into drive. Let's shred some Autobahns and we'll find chargers along the way. It seems like there's chargers everywhere in Germany.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. That's right. Just heading north out of Stuttgart. We are on the way to some de-restricted sections of Autobahn, and we've just checked. There's a whole bunch of DC fast chargers along this route, but only 150 kilowatt units along the way. So, you know, in terms of overall time, it probably doesn't make sense to go fully flat out because we can't charge back up at 270 kilowatts, but we're in Germany only a few times, so we're gonna drive flat out because we can. This is an interesting thing. So Basically, we have plenty of charging opportunities all along the route. We'll just plug into the nearest one when we start getting low, which is one of the benefits of Germany. There's really a good infrastructure here with especially ENBV, I've noticed, is really nice. So I think this is what we'll be using for the most part, at least on this stretch, maybe an IONITY station or two, but I have to say the infrastructure is good. It's just a lot of cards and things. If you watched our Mocha-E or Mocha-E road trip that we put up last week, you would have seen all of the craziness with getting the cards activated here, there. It's a nonsense thing as an American, but now we kind of have all the charging cards we need. We've been here for some time. So just waiting for the speed limits to go away, and we will put the right foot to the floor until we're out of juice. We are now in a de-restricted section of Autobahn, so let's kick the Porsche into Sport Plus to aid with cooling. One thing, oh, I just activated the voice control. Welcome to Germany. One thing I like to do though is take the chassis and take it out of Sport Plus. It's a little rough. Full throttle. Here we go. Unleashing the full power of the Taycan Turbo. Look at this thing rip. Just mega speed here, really quick. That's 160 miles an hour, and it is just absolutely hauling. We're catching right up to that safety car that just blew by us. I can hear him at full throttle, screaming away. And here we are, we've caught right up to the DTM car. Look at this. He's worried a little bit about the rain. This car is much more stable at high speeds. And let's go for a pass of the safety car, shall we? Full throttle. Nice, we just took the safety car. Awesome. Gotta love Germany. After ripping a little bit, the ID.3 is almost out of charge. I think he's well into the single digits. We have plenty of range here. Let's just think about where we want to go. Service station is straight on. That's what we're gonna. Yeah, we have 21%. I don't know how many charging stations are at this particular location. I know there's at least one, and that might be all there is. So we might have to charge the ID.3 and then charge the Taycan. That would be annoying if we can't charge them both at the same time. But this is road tripping with multiple EVs. This is what we run into. So let's see where we have to go. There's no signage that says EV charging. Yes, there is. It says straight on. So straight on. I have the car in Sport Plus cooling down. Oh yeah, look over here. Here's all the stations. Ah, great. We are now driving down the one way, the wrong way, because I missed the entrance to the chargers. That's a really poor design. If you miss it once, we'll just go around the wrong way the whole way here. So, good thing it's empty. If this was a full day, I don't know how people would get over here. Crazy. And I guess maybe if you're German, you're probably better at following directions than I am, but let's rip it on over here into a charging station, cannonball style. Get it charging. So, how was your drive in the ID.3?
Slow.
Did you see me ripping with that safety car?
Yeah.
That was awesome. All right, let's get these puppies charging. I got my Porsche charging card somewhere. Let's see, it's a 150 kilowatt, 300 kilowatt. It doesn't actually say anywhere, I don't think. We'll see. Porsche charging card. Boop. Checking. We want CCS high power. This one. Thank you very much. Let me swipe on the charger here. Boop. Power charge port. I would not opt for that on my car. Also, you get increased efficiency if you don't opt for power charge port. The cables are all inverted, but we'll do our best to get it plugged in here. Here we go. In we go. Let's get the Volkswagen charging. This one. Boom. And, yep, oh, 300 kilowatts on this one. Does say right there. Nice. And here we go, plugging in. Both of these are 300 kilowatt stations, so the ID.3 doesn't need it, but the Porsche certainly will max out on the charging process. I think what we'll do is pretty deep charges here so we can drive quickly, and then it might just be one more DC charging stop on the way to the Nurburgring. We will see. Although the Porsche is only charging at 36 kilowatts. Oh, no, now it's ramping up. That's good. Juice it. 68, that still doesn't seem that awesome. I don't know what's going on here. Charging card. 100, it's ramping up. Nice. Let's take a look at the ID.3's charging power. Yep, 50 kilowatts and ramping up. Yeah, these things ramp up slowly, but that's fine. You can see here quickly, this is only a 150 kilowatt charger that we've plugged the Taycan into, but this is a 300 kilowatt charger. We've done this the wrong way. This one over here is also a 300 kilowatt charger. Interestingly, I can't find anywhere on the exterior of any of these units any sort of power badging to show max power output. So what I think I'll do is I'll unplug the Taycan, I'll move it over here. We'll get probably close to double charging speeds, at least almost. And yeah, we'll just charge it up because we'll be doing a lot of ripping on the de-restricted sections of the Autobahn. One of the best parts about road tripping in Germany, of course, are all of the charging stations. These ENBV units are fantastic. 300 kilowatts, they rip pretty well. You can see the ID.3 and the Taycan are both charging on here, of course, and there's a ton of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these things in a row. Thankfully, though, there's tons along the highway, so we can sort of plug in and pull over whenever the cars get low. It requires, honestly, very little route planning, and I'm seeing more of these than superchargers by far. But of course, this is just our experience up to this point. I haven't actually done the statistical counting to see how many posts, or I should say locations, of DC fast chargers there are. What we're gonna do though is head to a place called Worms. It's not that far from here, but again, we're gonna be shredding at max speed. In this case, it's efficient in the Taycan because we can charge at 300 kilowatts, but not so much in the ID.3 because this can only do about 130 kilowatts peak to from 0 to 30%, and then it sits at about 100 kilowatts there on out for a little while. Driving at max speed in this probably isn't the fastest way to go, but it is the most fun. So we are, this trip, forgoing any sort of efficiency. We are in the land of no required speed limits. Therefore, we will take full advantage of our time here, living at the limit of the top of speed in both the Taycan, which truly is quick, 160 miles an hour, and the ID.3, which is just over 100 miles an hour. It's only about 100, or I should say about 76 miles to Worms, which is where we're heading. And then from there, it's only about 100 kilometers to the next one. So we're going to do a little charger hopping. We're going to put the cars into sport mode, rip as hard as we can to Worms, a little splash and dash there, and then we'll be off to the final IONITY station before we enter the land of no DC fast charging, close to the Nurburgring. I have the charge card that you'll need to stop charging here, Tijmen. So let me get this going for you, and that should be the last thing we do before we head out. So is there anything you need to do to prepare the car, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, good to go. I thought you were going to like get stuff out of it. Sorry.
I can do that.
What was that?
I can do that the next time.
Okay, so stop charging here. Boom. Stop. There we go. Stopped. We've added 41 kilowatt hours in 32 minutes. Not bad. Of course, we moved the Taycan, so we don't have the full story, but we were here for about a half hour. Really not terrible. This car is almost fully charged. What's it at? Yeah, 86%. This is just a charging monster, of course. Stop charging here. Unplugging here. And off we go then. Yep, and this closes itself automatically, this little flap like this. Once you unplug, it's pretty neat. And then the port closes right there. How about that? Jump in Sport Plus mode to aid in battery cooling. When you put this car in full Sport Plus, the fans go crazy to keep everything cool, especially after a DC fast charge. And then we'll be hitting the road at max speed. Pulling out of the charging station in the Taycan, and I guess we'll
You
go.
going the right way?
Well, this is going to be going the right way.
That's
Look at that
quicker.
rear steer getting it around nicely. Ripping through. Heading towards Mannheim. Not like the car auctions in the US, which are held in Mannheim, Pennsylvania, I think is where it is. Let's see, cars showing full power, battery pack temperature 96 degrees. That's because we charged in Sport Plus. We'll merge over here. We have the Matrix LED high beams that are just amazing. 100 km/h speed zone. What is this? 80? Oh no! We just had a shift into second gear there. It looks like we'll chill for a little bit until it's fully de-restricted, hopefully just after this construction zone. And coming up here is the de-restricted sign, so let's take a look at the speedometer and see how quickly we can get up to speed. Bear in mind we are sitting at uphill. So, let us know when you can see it, Alyssa.
Get it.
Full power, baby. Off we go. That's 100 miles an hour. Man, does this thing pull hard. We are up a really strong incline here. Merging into the left lane so we don't just totally blow by this guy. And that's 160 miles an hour. Even around a corner at 160 miles an hour, this thing is straight as an arrow. Oh, look out the front now. Really, absolutely amazing speed here. And with the Matrix LED headlights, it keeps everything bright except the cars. You can see it's shining the light all around this guy, but not actually at the guy. Pretty incredible technology. Just give him a little bit of room. Look at this, still taking corners here at max speed. The Taycan's clinging on for dear life. It's really an impressive chassis. It's just so stable at such high speeds. Man, can you just absolutely clobber the Autobahn. It's insane! Insane! Tijmen has, so let's just show you a taste of this acceleration. Quick blast into Sport Plus right here into the Taycan. Let the suspension drop really quick, and just to give you a taste as to how hard this thing really accelerates. Watch this. Pulling off the highway now because this is where the next charging situation is. I guess Tijmen's a little bit lost. He's looking for it. I'm not sure. So we'll keep looking around this little spot, but we have plenty of juice here in the Taycan. I think we're up to 58% state of charge. So at least in this car, we can continue going. Maybe we should see, maybe the ID.3 can do more. There weren't too many de-restricted sections. So my gut feeling says, let's just skip this charge and head off to that IONITY station. Well, the Taycan still has plenty of juice, but we decided to plug in the ID.3. How much, what state of charge are you at, Tijmen?
Let's see, vehicle charging 44%.
44%, yeah, wow, this thing definitely chugged the juice a little bit there. But we're just gonna charge it up a little bit while we're waiting. Alyssa is currently trying to calculate the distance to this one charger we need to go. I think she's looking to find it. It's not the easiest thing to do in this system. So once we do that, then we will unplug the Volkswagen as soon as we have room. Enough time. If it turns out that we actually do need to charge this car a little bit more, then I'll pull the Taycan. Oh, someone's like shooting guns over there. That's crazy. Then I will pull the Taycan and plug it in to this charger just over here.
Yeah, I think it's already en route.
Yep, so it looks like it's trying to have us go there anyway. So you can see that little racing flag. Yes, the 300 kilowatt unit just outside of the Nurburgring. That's the last station. You said it's what, about 20 kilometers away? So not a huge deal. We might even be able just to finish wall plug. It says we'll get there at 8%. maybe while we're waiting, we'll just put it on that fast charger next to Tijmen's. So here I have selected the 50 kilowatt CCS station for the Taycan. You see, we put the ID.3 on this ENBV station, the newer one over here, because this is the one that really needs the juice, especially if we're going to be going fast. It doesn't have nearly the capacity of the Taycan. Yep, and it's only doing 57 kilowatts. What? That's not very good. Perhaps the battery's a little toasty on there. Not totally sure. But maybe, Tijmen, if you turn off climate control and everything, it can use all that to help cool the battery pack. So if you just hit Klima next to your hazard lights and top left-hand corner, there you go. That should help at least use everything the Volkswagen needs to regulate the battery temperature. I've then selected this unit here for the Taycan just because, well, we're waiting around. We may as well get some low power DC, some 50 kilowatt into this thing while it's sitting around. That's just more juice we can burn later on at high speed. Well, we have a nice little buffer of projected range to actual in the ID.3, and that's because we're predicting a little bit more de-restricted sections than what we've been driving so far, although we have had quite a bit. What percent are you charged up to? 70% state of charge. The Taycan's at about 65% state of charge, but again, a lot bigger battery in this. This is a 93.4 kilowatt hour battery installed. This is a 62 kilowatt hour battery installed, 58 usable, 85 usable, 86 usable, something like that. So anyway, I think we have plenty of juice to get over there. Worst case, we don't drive at max speed. But what do you think about that?
Boring.
I agree. We are flat out all the way. Let's head on over to the last charging stop, and then it's just a quick little jaunt over to the Nurburgring. And here we go. Great turning radius in the ID.3, by the way. That car just looks great at night with the LED taillights. Really is an impressively stylish vehicle. Kicking the Taycan over into sport mode. Charging at a 50 kilowatt charger on this. We used the onboard, probably DC to DC booster. Oh, Tijmen is ripping the corners in that. Absolutely shredding the Volkswagen around. That's like the best on-ramp ever. And here we go to full throttle. There's no one behind us, so look at this, going for a pass here. He's full beans in that, as we are here. What a good time. We are now back on some de-restricted roads, so foot down, here we go. Man, does this thing accelerate like crazy. Now we'll try not to fly past cars at max speed, just to be nice to them, of course, so we don't just go flying by and blowing their doors off. Just exiting off the highway here to head towards the charging station. We have 24 kilometers of predicted range left. We were pretty efficient. I was even driving in range mode there, hoping to find some de-restricted sections, but actually none really. That was pretty disappointing. I mean, it was sort of a metropolitan areas going through, so it makes sense, but for some reason I remember that route being a little bit more speedy, but I think that was between the main city of Stuttgart and then also coming up here towards the Nurburgring turnoff. We were on the west side of Stuttgart, so it was a little bit more of a non-major highway. Anyway, looks like there should be an IONITY station just up here. I stopped and used the roadside restroom really quick, so Tijmen may have beat us while I was doing that, and we'll find out. But basically, we're gonna plug in and go. Basically, we're at 11%, let's just say 10% by the time we plug in, all the way to 100%. It's something you don't have to do often, but for situations like this is where a really good charging curve on a car helps a ton, because we need as much juice as possible for the track tomorrow. Shell recharge, that's a good sign. Perhaps this is the Shell recharge stations. I've never used those before, actually. Let's see where they are. The Schnellladen. Ooh, over here to the left, there's the ID.3. Nice. And is there just one? Yep, there's just one, but there's 2 ports, so we'll just have to both charge at 150 kilowatts, I guess, each, and go until they're both full. Tijmen, you've arrived with 10% state of charge. Same here in the Taycan, actually. So it's going to be a race to see which can complete first. Unfortunately, only one station here, and maybe even more unfortunately. Nope, they're both CCS. So 2 CCS units. And I thought that was going to be a Chatamo CCS situation. There is a Chatamo as well. So let me get my card out. Let's see, the Volkswagens probably no, because we're going to be limited on power. The Porsche is probably going to take longer. So let's get this one started first. And pulling this out and plugging it in. There we go. These cables are always pretty heavy. And now I'll wait for this to connect and start charging, and then it will let me activate, then it will let me activate the other side to charge up the ID.3. Wow, this is crazy. The Taycan has just shot right up to 240 kilowatts. We're gonna see what happens when we plug in the ID.3. Is it gonna go 150, 150? I'm not really sure. I guess the ID.3 can't take 150. Basically, what I'm looking for to see is, will it force split our charging, or will it just let the ID.3 get our leftovers? We'll see. And here we go, plugging in the ID.3, boom. So the Porsche is pulling pretty good speeds. Let's take a look at the screen here. And this is gonna be for the ID.3. I guess it's gonna do its little communication. More things are clicking. This is exciting. I'm genuinely curious. This is not a good sign. ID.3 just went red. Oh, well, we'll try it again. Oh no, well, it says the connector is damaged. Please try with a different connector. So why don't we stop the Porsche charging, plug the Porsche one into the ID.3, and then see if that one will charge the Porsche. That's worth a shot at least. Also, based off of this indication before we stop charging, it does seem like it will do a force split at just 150 kilowatts a piece. That's a little bit of a bummer. Maybe not the most efficient use of the energy that this charger can put out, but it is simple programming. Let's stop the charging on the Porsche and let's plug in the ID.3 with it. Well, welcome to the wild wonders of EV charging. Just by swapping the cables, we've been able to get both cars to charge. That makes literally less than no sense, but you can see the Taycan's only getting 150 kilowatts here, maybe slightly more. This is a little bright. So ID.3 is doing 128 kilowatts, Taycan's doing 150. This charger can output more, but because they're both plugged in, it won't max out the Taycan, of course, but it is maxing out the ID.3. Anyway, no problem. I bet, you know, because this Taycan sat for a little while at 250 kilowatts, it got a little bit ahead in the state of charge race. So we're both charging up on this one little unit here in the middle of the night. It's 3 something in the morning here in Germany. Man, did our dinner with our friends just run over time, but totally worth it. We saw that really cool town, and man, the wonders of EV charging. I can't believe that charger cable swap worked. Well, it's been about 30 minutes of charging. I just took a little bit of a nap, and it's 4:30 in the morning, even actually a little bit after this. Crazy how this trip is just dragged on. I guess, you know, to me, we're having so much fun. It feels like it just flew by. If I had to guess, I'd say it feels like 11 p.m., but I think Tijmen and Alyssa might disagree a little bit. Anyway, both of the cars are charging. The Taycan, I know, is very close to being completely full. Let's take a look here at the screen to see the stats. So the Taycan is on the right, 99% state of charge. The ID.3 is on the left at 95% state of charge. Let's see, we've been here for about 50 minutes so far, so not terrible. About an hour to full charge. Both cars, let's just say, from 10% on one unit. Certainly, if there was a second unit, that would be cool, but actually not that helpful since the ID.3 is our weakest link here in terms of charging. Still an amazing road tripping car. You just put it up against something like Taycan with this incredible charging curve. There's no way it can sort of keep up with this road tripping monster. But looks like we'll be getting to our hotel at, let's just say, 5:10, 5:15 a.m. I think we will probably sleep in till about 10, maybe, yeah, something like this. And then it's got to be right out to the track to drive, because we need to be fresh. We don't want to be tired out on the track, but when else are you going to have 2 pretty cool cars and some more to shred around the Nurburgring? Well, we have charged up both the cars to 100% state of charge. Tijmen and I are both going to drive over in eco mode. So in the Taycan, it's called range mode. In the ID.3, I believe it's called eco mode. Let's just head over there, get to our room, get to sleep. It's only about 30 kilometers an hour on some really desolate back roads. Or 30 kilometers, what am I saying? 30 kilometers an hour. And then we'll see you guys in the morning.
I'm going to put the car into eco mode so that we can save most of the battery life, just to have some fun for tomorrow. I'm just going to follow Kyle to the hotel, and we will see what time we get there. I am exhausted. It is 4:41 in the morning. I'm ready for bed.
Well, guys, it's now the next day. We found a great 22 kilowatt AC charger just across the street from our hotel. I actually locked the keys in the Taycan this morning because I left them in there last night. We got to the hotel. I'm like, oh, I'll lock it with the app, but I didn't realize you needed a special PIN to unlock it. And yeah, needed this pin, and it was a disaster. So anyway, I had to wake up a couple people at Porsche and be like, I am so sorry, but can you just send a remote signal to unlock the car? And they did, which is great. Love modern technology. We were planning on how we could break into the car here through the window and get a little stick to click the unlock button here. Thankfully, we didn't have to do any of that. Amazing time here at the Nürburgring. I've done 3 laps today in the Taycan. That's about all I'm going to do in this car, just because it's not our car, not our tires, and 3 laps around the Nürburgring is like 20 laps around our track in North Carolina. Really a lot of driving. Was able to meet Misha, who's an awesome YouTuber based here at the Nürburgring. I'll link to his channel in the description. Stay tuned to our sister channel, Out of Spec Reviews, where he and I went together and did some laps, and we talked about electric cars here at the Nürburgring, the state of EVs at the ring. It's pretty interesting. And the Taycan has just been holding up like a champ. Thermal management is great. It does get warm driving it hard, no question, but it cools itself down quickly. We're going to go plug it in because I'm down to about 30% state of charge. Maybe just enough to get it full charge by this evening. Maybe I'll squeak it out for another lap. Probably not, though. Sitting in traffic here at the Nürburgring, gotta love it. Amazing facility. Thanks for watching our road trip over here. Man, that was a long day for sure. We got about a good solid 5-6 hours of sleep. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now. Well, thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Motoring road trip video. The ID.3 is fully charged. We're about to take that around the ring for a few laps. Should be a blast, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.